Rev up your engines! Okay, today we're going to talk about Honda Civics. Honda sold millions of them. This is a 2015. It does have a CVT. A lot of people are whining about CVTs. They're saying, oh, Hondas also burn oil and stuff. Well, we're going to tell you the truth about this from the original owner. Bought it for his daughter. Now he's inherited over 100,000 miles. Let's see, did it hold up? Did it have problems? Now, as you can see, the body's held up really well. Considering that it's in Kansas, it does snow in Kansas. And just don't get too close because these aren't mag wheels. They're plastic hub covers. They're just steel wheels, which last long anyways. Who cares? Now, a lot of people don't like CVT transmissions. This has a CVT transmission, but on the positive side, it hasn't had any problems. It's still all original. Although, here's a story kind of warn you about dealerships. I took it to a dealership a while back to have the transmission fluid changed so the CVT transmission would last. That's a good thing. But he decided 15,000 miles later, he was going to change it himself this time. Well, guess what? The dealer put 1 quart too much in it. They didn't even do it right. Now, I hate to say it, but it's the truth in many places these days. Back in my grandfather's day, the mechanics got 50%. It was 50 cents an hour labor. Mechanic got 25, the dealer took 25%. Today, you're going to pay $150 to $200 labor, and the mechanics are making $15, $20 flat rate, which might not even be minimum wage. You think I took it to the dealership, and they'll do it right. In his case, they put too much fluid in. Now, he was lucky he caught it 15,000 miles later. It didn't seem to damage anything, although he got a transmission leak on one of the sensors. The seal went out, and that could have been from having too much fluid, but he got that fixed. So, as I said, you can't trust these places anymore. They're supposed to be experts, right? They changed the fluid and they put too much in at the dealership. So this is why I tell people, watch my videos. Do like he did. Change your own fluid. It's not rocket science. It only requires a few hand tools and a jack. Do it yourself. You'll know it'll be done right. Now, in that vein, you still want to use the same fluid. This came with Honda fluid. You want to replace it with Honda fluid. When you change the fluid, you're only changing about 1/3 or less of what's in it. So you want to have the same fluid with the same additives. Use the dealership fluid. Just don't use the dealerships to do it. Now, being a Honda, the most important thing under the hood is the Honda engine. Now, this is a 1.8 liter, straight 4-cylinder engine. Excellent engine. It's good gas mileage. It doesn't burn oil, even though it's got over 100,000 miles. Now, it is attached to a CVT, a constantly varying transmission. Even back in 2015 in the United States, you only had 2 choices. To buy this car with a CVT or a standard 5-speed manual transmission. Now, I've driven them both, and let me tell you, the ones with manual transmissions are so much zippier. They really are a lot faster. And back in the day when Civics had regular automatics and not CVTs, they were also zippier than these. But if you're talking about transportation, and let's face it, for most people, Civic's a basic transportation car, like a Toyota Corolla. It still works perfectly fine. It has never had any problems other than that little leakage, which is probably because the dealer put a quart too much fluid in and the extra pressure made it leak. Now check it up. He drove here 250 something miles. 39.4 miles a gallon. Okay, it's 9 years old, 100,000 miles, almost 40 miles a gallon. That's why they went to the CVT transmissions, to get a little better gas mileage. You do lose a little oomph, but like I say, it goes, doesn't have any problems, and the engine, it doesn't burn oil either. And guess what? This is a normally aspirated engine, right? No turbo, none of that high pressure crap on them. These Honda engines can basically last forever if you take care of them. And unlike those crazy Honda V6 engines that still have rubber timing belts, these things went to metal chains a long time ago. His AC still blows 40 degrees. He was bragging about that. And let's check the inside out. He's got those back rollers on them. They work quite well, but you can see the fabric is still held up quite well. As you can see, the dash is still in great shape. Everything sets up good, and I love it because it's still got the old regular parking brake that actually works and holds. I don't like the electronic crap. This doesn't have it. And as you can see here, it's got traction control. You can turn it on. You can put it on economy mode. And do you have to be a computer genius to operate it? No, look. Fan speed, where you want to blow it, AC, max AC, recirc, front defrost, rear defrost, temperature, All very simple. Now, it's an older car, so it does have a CD player. Who has CDs these days? Hardly anybody. But it certainly held up well, so let's get the old computer out and see what's going on electronically. We're trying out a new scan tool here. There's the number, 689BT. It's a relatively high-end scan tool, and we're going to see if it's as fast as they claim it is. So we're going to do an auto search, see how fast it is. See if it's really fast. Got cool graphics, I'll give them that. There, it read it already. There we go, Civic 2015's got all the information. We'll do a health report. Here we go. We can see all the systems it's going through. Going through quite a few systems. So far it's found an ABS problem and the electronic power steering, which may or may not mean anything. We'll find out. But as you can see, it's going through all kinds of systems, and it's only 36% done. There's a lot of systems it's going through. So far, it seems to be a pretty thorough scan tool. And while we're waiting, we'll look around. It's got a nice dash. And then when we look up further, nice setup on the top, too. So you got a racing tech in front of you and also the speedometer. Well, now it's done, and it found a few codes, okay? The anti-lock braking says low voltage. The electronic power steering says problem in VSA. Engine speed signal has a problem. Now, I see this all the time in modern cars because when the batteries go bad, you get low voltage and it trips codes that don't mean anything. It just means there wasn't enough voltage. And if you don't have a fancy scan tool like this and somebody replaces the battery, the codes remain in the car. So we're going to clear the codes. Clear now, so we will go back and start the car up. And here we go. It populates it pretty fast, meaning it's got a pretty fast speed of the chip because you don't have to wait very long for it to pick it up. You can see the fuel trim's almost perfect, 1.00. It's 1.01. It's, 1/100th off. That's not too bad for a car with 100,000 miles. Lambda 0.99. Again, that's perfect there, 1. It's almost perfect. You really can't argue about that. Not for a car that's got 107,596 miles and is 9 years old. Now, there's all kinds of data. There's 30. Let's see how many there are. Let's just whip through them. Beep, 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 beep. That's a lot of data, people. 221 lines of data. And if you want, there's all kinds of actuation tests. Look at all the actuation tests. Blah, blah, blah. And if we go back, it also has special functions. Lots of different special functions, too. Well, everything seems fine there, so let's take it for a spin. But it's an old car, so no backup camera. We got to look in the mirror here. Well, guess what? I was looking in the wrong place. There it is. There is a backup camera. It's a little one up in the middle. I'll put it in drive. Nice smooth idle. And like I said, it does have that CVT transmission. We'll see how it feels. And it is smooth. Nothing wrong with it. It's just, to me, it doesn't have the oomph. A standard has a lot of oomph. And even a regular automatic. They just don't have the oomph that I like in a car. But I don't know, I'm getting older. Maybe I can get used to it. And maybe you won't have a choice in the future. Maybe they'll all have CVTs, so you don't have any choice whatsoever. But there's still a lot of companies out there with automatics. Like Hyundai's got a 6-speed automatic that's pretty good. But then again, they have an 8-speed dual clutch transmission that's a rolling pile of crap, and they're all falling apart in the 2024s. So far, very smooth. I mean, it's a great transportation car. Of course, the young kids won't like it because they buy Hondas. They want to soup them up, and you really can't soup up a CVT transmission. So here we go down Tobacco Road for a little spin. Well, we go up the hill here, and there's no gear, so it's not shifting. It just changes the variation inside the drums. And we know it's not going to be a race car, but here we go. We'll look behind us. There's nobody behind us. And here we go. It goes. Like I say, it's not a race car. Now, if this was a standard automatic, we'd be going a lot faster, a lot quicker. But you can see it's smooth. It gets you where you're going. I've had couples buy these, and the husband says, yeah, the only thing I don't like is the acceleration. And the wife said, oh, it runs fine to me. It gets where I go and never breaks. I don't care. So just a little information for those who like driving fast or for those who don't care at all. This thin car scan tool, so far, it's shown to be a pretty good scan tool. I'm getting old, so I really like this part. It's magnetic. That's the part you plug into the dash. You're going to lose it, right? No, look. It's magnetic. It just sticks on there. Now, that's a good idea. We'll keep testing this out as time goes on. Now, as for the car, hey, it's proven the test of time. Over 100,000 miles. 9 years old. Almost 40 miles a gallon gas mileage still. The CVT, if you don't care, they work. If you really want more zippiness, try to find an older one that's got a real automatic transmission or a manual transmission. Now you only got a choice of a CVT. You got no choice anymore. But the car itself is held up fine. AC blows freezing cold. Everything on it still working pretty good. And he likes the steel wheels because, as he says, they're easier to balance. If you hit something and it get bent, you can bend it back. An alloy wheel will break, cost you hundreds of dollars. Not that bad an idea to go back to old steel rims. They work perfectly fine. And it's getting almost 40 miles a gallon. So much for, well, you need the alloy wheels to get better gas mileage. That's a myth. They're still pretty heavy wheels. It doesn't make that much difference, if at all. So, Honda Civic, you want a transportation car? Hey, this old one, it's still transporting like mad, being used every day to go to work and back, and still is rolling down the road fine with ice cold AC that's never been touched. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.